Welcome to Math with Mrs. Lance. Here's some contact information in case you would like to get a hold of me. The best way to reach me is through the email listed here at lancesu@qps.org, or you could contact me through the school and my extension number is 1329. Here's a little bit of information about me. I grew up here in Quincy, Illinois on a farm with my 9 siblings. I have 5 sisters and 4 brothers, and it was a very full house. I always knew I wanted to stay in Quincy and attended John Wood to get my associate degree, and then followed at Quincy University to get my bachelor's degree. I am married to Shane Lance, and together we have 4 children. Aiden attends junior high school with me, and Bentley, Charlotte, and Della go to Rooney Elementary. We also have 4 animals. We have a dog named Pup and 3 cats named Forest, Shadow, and Mittens. So we have a very full house as well. Please feel free to. A typical math day for your students is that when they come into the classroom, they are encouraged to fill out their planner so that later on in the day, they can reflect back on what our agenda was and what the assignment of the day would have been. They're also assigned a couple of bell work problems, 1 or 2 every day, that they can get started on as soon as class starts. The bell work problems are a review typically of the skills that we're currently working on. Sometimes it could be something that we worked on previously or a skill yet to work on in the future. After the students have had an opportunity to work on the bell work problems by themselves, I would approach the problems with them and we would talk through them, and the students would have the opportunity to work them out on the paper if they hadn't had the chance to yet on their own. The students would turn in their bell work at the end of 2 weeks to get some points for those. After completing the bell work, we would grade the previous night's homework if there was something assigned, and then work on our class notes together. Once notes have been completed, the students should have some time to work independently on that night's assignment. Speaking of homework, that is given out usually 3 times a week. Homework is always due the very next day since we continue to move on and progress in our skills. Students are expected to grade their own homework, so they do need a pen or a marker or something that they can grade with, since they are expected to do their homework with a pencil. It is super important that your student completes their homework every chance that they can so that they can do well on their practice, which and then in turn would allow them to do well on their performances. That would be their quizzes and their tests. Speaking of performance grades, students will have quizzes often. So you can count on them to have a quiz typically about every week to week and a half in math. Tests are going to happen about every quarter, and the tests will be something that we would review for multiple days prior to that test. So you can count on us reviewing for probably about a week before they have a test. With Math 7, it usually takes the students about 3 to 4 days to complete a test in the classroom. Students are allowed to do 2 retakes per quarter per class on any performance piece. So in Math 7, that would pertain to any quiz that they would take. So since we take a quiz about every week, they have the opportunity to retake any of those quizzes. Retakes, unfortunately, do not apply on tests in Math 7 since we only do those about once per quarter, and the tests take multiple days to complete, and students do have the opportunity to ask for help on those tests during that process. So that is not eligible for a retake. In order to complete a retake, students do need to inform me of their willingness to do a retake within 2 days of receiving their graded quiz back. Also, in order for them to retake, they must have shown effort throughout the lesson, which means that they would have had to complete any homework that was assigned. So if they did not do homework and did poorly on a quiz, they would not be eligible to complete a retake. Our topics for Math 7 that we focus on include the number system, which involves positive and negative numbers with all operations, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, ratios and proportional relationships, expressions and equations, geometry, and statistics and probability. Those are the big topics that we focus on. Thank you for watching the video on my Math 7 curriculum. If there are any questions, please feel free to send out an email.